Hey, what's up, YouTube? How you guys doing? This is going to be a new segment of my channel that I'm about to introduce. This is going to be a lifestyle video, okay? So guys who are new to my channel or unfamiliar with how I do this or what kind of content I put out, I've been doing sports. We're doing reviewing football, mentioning basketball and baseball. I'm a big Raiders fan, so I talk about the Raiders a lot in some videos. Also, I'm a gun guy, so I try to give you some gun content, right? Review products, talk about different things when it comes to firearms, ownership of firearms, a little training, and a little Second Right Amendment opinions, okay? And now I'm going to add this lifestyle journey. And it's not I'm starting it now, right? I'm just exposing it now. I've started it for quite some time. But now is the time I feel like it's a good time for me to expose it. And I'll explain why I'm doing it, but let me get through this, how this format is going to work and what you can look for, right? What I do is, on my titles, I'm very honest about what the content is about, because I have 3 different subjects now, right? So if you're not interested, now I would love for you to be interested in all of it, okay? I would love for you to view all of it, right? But if you're not a sports person, you're not a football person, whatever it is, right? Just look at the title and you'll see what the video is about. There's no clickbait, and I'm going to have a title of one thing and throw in something else, right? I'm not going to do that. I'm going to give you basically what the content is about in the title. So if you're not interested, you just, don't click on it, right? So that's how I do it. I have 3 different, because listen, what's the point of having 3 channels when you don't have a subscriber base that's very high, right? It's kind of pointless, right? So I just put everything on one channel and just go from there. Now, if you're interested, let's say you don't want to be on YouTube, you just want to listen, right? A lot of my shows are going to be uploaded on another platform. It's Spreaker with a R, okay? Spreaker.com. And the link would be built for this network, okay? So it's Spreaker.com. That's the website, okay? Go to built for this network, okay? And then you'll see all the shows listed there, okay? Another thing, when you're on Spreaker, it's almost like it'll be sort of like a live show. I'm not going to be live. It's going to be a recording of what I put up on YouTube, but there's a live chat room. So we can interact in that chat room. I'll be in the chat room. We can interact. It's something like YouTube Live, but Spreaker, there's a Spreaker family that has evolved, right? And it's just some people over there that are very comfortable with using that format, and I want to be true to my family, right? So that's why I use Spreaker to do the audio side of it, so we can interact and just bond and grow, okay? So if you're interested and it's just an audio version of the show, you can go there and listen to it. And it also, that audio is also on other platforms, iHeart, Spotify, a list of others. So if you stumble across Built for This Network, click on it and check out some of the programming, right? I think you'll be entertained. So now that we got all that out of the way, let's start this lifestyle change, okay? And I say change, not that I'm just starting this. This is something I've started. And in essence, I was going to say it was back in August that I started this particular story, right? Or this particular leg of the journey, right? But this journey started a while ago. It started probably about 5 years ago, maybe around 5 years ago, right? And just to test you, give you a little context of what that was about. So at that point in my life, I was, and this is really, really raw, right? Because I'm really thinking about this right now, and it's not in my notes because I never really thought about it. I think it is interesting though, because it's going to kind of lead to some of the issues of why I have changed, or my frame of mind of how I'm approaching this go around. So back then, one of my main focuses was that I wasn't exercising enough, right? And I wanted to start exercising, and I wanted to lose some weight. I think at the time I was probably the heaviest I ever was in my life, right? So this is going to be kind of a shock to some people, because the number is going to be high. And but I'm 6'4", so I kind of carried it a little better, I think, right? Some people may say, oh yeah, I saw that. But some people are going to say, oh man, I didn't realize you was that big, right? But I think the heaviest I ever got was about 400, and I'm thinking about 445 pounds. My wife and I both agree that's probably the heaviest I've ever been, okay? Of course, when you're that big, you're not excited about getting on the scale, okay? So I would really be lying if I really told you that is exactly where it was. But we estimate that was probably pretty close. And the only reason why we came to that conclusion was because the last doctor visit I had, the heaviest I've ever been in a doctor visit scale was that around that weight, right? Was at 345, right? And so that's the number we're going to use. Okay, that's the number we're going to use. So about 5 years ago, I said, man, I got to get healthy, man. I was diagnosed with hypertension, right? High blood pressure. I got on medication. And one of the things the doctor told me was that, listen, your weight is a direct correlation to your hypertension, right? So, you need to make some lifestyle changes, right? And so I didn't do it immediately. But eventually I started, okay? And at that point in time, what I did was, I started working out, started just walking, right? And it changed the way I started eating. I started eating better. You're putting in this work, and you say, well, man, how can I go eat potato chips after I just walked, a few miles, right? And so my eating habits changed, right? But I didn't have a real, it wasn't locked in. I hadn't really looked into like really what's good, what's not good, what's a good procedure, what's good habits. I didn't form a plan. I was just, trying to just think about things that worked in the past, rumors I've heard, things of that nature, programs I've watched, products I've seen advertised, you know what I'm saying? I was just winging it, So, I was figuring, okay, well, let's do the kind of like the basics, right? Let's low fat type diet, cut out fried foods, I at one point, a long time ago, was on a protein diet, right? And that's when protein diets was real big. So I'm like, okay, so let's get some quality protein, so I'm talking about like, baked chicken instead of fried chicken, things like that. Just your basic understanding of how you lose weight or be healthy, just the basics, right? So I did that for a while, and I had some success. I think I can't tell you exactly how long I did it, because that's been a long time, but it was pretty good. I had pretty good success. I remember I had went to the doctor, I give you a good, if you want to go back and look at the time frame, right? When the Raiders played the Saints in New Orleans about 4 or 5 years ago, okay? That weekend, my sister, shout out Tiff, love you, baby. She had bought me and my father tickets to the opening game of the Saints and the Raiders. Now, my father is a big Saints fan, and I'm okay with the Saints. I pull for the Saints, but I'm a huge Raider fan, okay? So we went to that game, and prior to that game, that weekend, or that Friday before the game, I went to the doctor, and I weighed in, and if I remember correctly, my weight had dropped from that 445 to like 375, I think it was, right? And the doctor was so happy, right? He was so proud of me, right? And he was like, oh man, just, you know, and I had dropped pant size, you know. I was so proud of myself. I had just done a challenge on Run Keeper, right? A friend of mine, Roscoe, we call him Hump, right? But he had challenged me. I had asked on Facebook for someone, because I was posting my workouts on Facebook constantly, right? And he had, I think the challenge was, I think it was 130 miles in a month, right? I think that's what it was, right? And that day, the day of my appointment, was the last day of that challenge, and I achieved it. So proud. You know, I could go back, but that's irrelevant. I'm just trying to give you a history of what I did in the past, right? And I was so happy, man. I achieved that goal, right? I had lost some weight. I had dropped, you know, pant size, you know, and I was feeling real good. I was feeling excellent, right? And the key to what that weight loss was about was my exercising. I was exercising like a madman, right? But I didn't have, and I was eating well. I had changed my eating. I was including a lot of fruits to my diets, I was doing juice. I was doing juicing, right? I found this product, Amazing Greens, that was, because, you know, I'm not a big salad guy, right? But I found this product that you add to your smoothies, and it gives you a lot of greens, the benefits of spinach and kale, and, you know, all type of different greens and beets and all type of, you know, health, antioxidants and all these things, right? And I'm still doing it. It's not like that has changed, right? But, man, I was on it. I was feeling so good, right? And what happened was, after that trip, my wife and I changed she changed where she started working, right? And changed you know, we're truck drivers, right? And so she wanted to change what we were doing. Actually, you know, it was kind of like we were almost kind of forced into it, because where we were working, they had lost their contract. So we had to make a change, and she had decided she wanted to do something that was more over the road type work, right? And you know, I'm a supportive husband. I really wasn't down with it, right? But I'm a supporter, right? So we went back over the road, you know, driving trucks. And at the same time, social media started to really come out with a lot of videos about police violence against people, police brutality, a lot of the shootings, things of that nature. This is before even George Floyd and that whole segment. This is before then, right? And you just started, you know, social media was really showing a lot of violence that was occurring to people of color, right? And, you know, on my walks, a lot of times, one of the things I get bored with is is walking in a circle, okay? Especially a short circle, right? If I do a mile, if my circle is a mile, then I can push myself to a pretty good session, right? If it's like a half a mile, like a lot of times, like I'm at a truck stop, you can see in the background, I'm at a truck stop, right? If it's less than a mile, I get very, very bored, right? So what I used to do was I would just leave the truck stop, you know, if I was in a good area, right? And I would just go walk down the streets, okay? And I was really good at that. And one of the things that I found was that if I walk 2.5 miles, 3 miles out, right? Which I feel good at doing that, right? I got to get back. So it forced me to raise the bar, you know? So I would start a walk. I go out there, I walk 2 miles. And in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, I walk back, that's 4. But man, I feel real good. I think I could do, 5, So I walk another mile, And so now I'm doing 3 miles, right? So I got to walk back, that's 6. So that really pushed me to, really do well with my walking, okay? And so at that point, exercising was the key to me being healthy because I was on it. I was dropping weight and I was on it. Well, what happened was with these social, we've always had violence in this country against people of color, right? But now we're seeing it. It's in our palm. We can see it in our phones, okay? And it puts something in your mind, puts thoughts in your mind, right? And my wife was concerned. She was very concerned. Now, I'm not a fearful person. I'm a cautious person. I'm not going to just run into fear, run into danger, just without any caution, right? But at the same time, I have the right to be a certain place. This is a public street. I have a right to be down that street. So I'm not going to be fearful of wherever I go. You know what I'm saying? Look, God says fear no man. Okay? And I take that literally. Okay? I do not have fear of man. Okay? Am I just going to put myself in dangerous situations? No. I'm not a stupid man either. Okay? But at the same time, if I'm walking down the street for my exercise, not bothering anyone, I don't care where it's at. I'm going to do it. Okay? On the other hand, my wife had some huge concerns because we was in strange places. We didn't know the areas, and she was afraid of my of my safety, right? And we wouldn't like fight about it, right? But we would talk about it, and she would be very discouraging about me doing it. I would try to walk around the truck stops, and I would get bored, and in the back of my mind, I'm saying like, I'm kind of being a punk about this. I'm letting my wife tell me, what to do and what not to do. I can go down that damn street, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, what if something happens and now she's really going to feel bad because I should have listened to her and now I'm hurt, So I'm sitting to myself and I'm thinking, okay, all right. So it became discouraging, right? And it really caused me to slow my exercise down, all right? When I slowed my exercise down, what happened was my eating started to evolve into more, with less focus, right? If I'm not working out, it's easy to say, well, I could have that bag of chips. If I'm not working out, it's easy to say, well, what's wrong with those strips, those chicken strips, what's wrong with a burger every now and then, I'm not working out, And so in essence, what I'm driving at is at that point in my life, I was letting my exercise drive my eating habits. Okay. And that's one thing I want to drive home. right? What I'm trying to do now is change my eating and let my exercise be the bonus. Because what you take in, you can always control that. I don't care if you're 80 years old, right? You can control what you eat. Okay? You always have control of what you can eat. We're not always guaranteed to have control of what we're physically able to do. So if you're depending on your physical, the physical side of you to help you stay in shape, to stay healthy, then there is a window of opportunity of you failing. Okay, that's the point I'm trying to make. And I think that's one of the flaws. We have to concentrate on what we take into our body first. That's the one thing we have to really focus on, because that's one thing we can control. We can control what we eat. Now, exercise, like right now, I'm starting this. I started a new goal today, and it's only 80 miles. And there's a couple of reasons why I'm only doing 80 miles this month. A, it's wintertime. I'm a Southern boy, and I can handle like the mid 40s. Like today, when I started, it was around 46, 47. I have to have my gloves. I have to have, warm clothes, and I can do it. I can do it. I can handle that. If it's in the 30s, man, I ain't getting out there and walk. And I know people that do it, but that's not me. I'm not doing it. Okay. So wintertime, you have, cold weather. That's going to actually be something that's going to hurt you. You're going to have, in my line of work, I have to consider snow. So sometimes whenever I know I'm going to be dealing with bad weather, my driving is, I'm going to need more time for driving, right? So I have to allow more time in my day. So taking an extra hour to work out may not fit my schedule, right? And then the third thing is I'm just now getting back, right? I took some time off. I had a little illness, right? And I'm just now working myself back into shape. The other day I did a 4-mile walk, and I felt pretty good. But 4 miles was at one time was like, that was a minimum. If I'm going to walk, I'm going to walk 4 miles, right? Really, my goal every, workout was to do 5 to 6 miles. That was my goal, right? Well, I'm not there right now. I'm not saying I can't do it. It's just that I'm not going to consistently be able to do that right now. So I'm working myself back in shape in essence, right? So with the wintertime not being a good time to really get out here and do this, and me working myself back in shape, I'm only doing 80-mile challenge for this month, right? But let me also say something about that. Those are, whenever I put a goal out like that, that's just to help push me on those lazy days, on those days when I talk myself out of working out. I said, well, man, I got to work out to get this goal, right? One thing, if I do 80 miles in 3 weeks, which that'll be pretty tough, right? But if I do 80 miles in 3 weeks, I'm not going to stop. Every time I have an opportunity to work out, I'm going to work out. Okay, so that number can go way high. And if I can't work out, I might fall short. Goals are set, they can be dangerous when you set goals, because when you don't meet those goals, it can be discouraging. And that's the danger of setting goals, right? Guys, it's no problem with not succeeding. Okay, losses don't mean that L's don't mean that you lost. You learn. Whenever you don't achieve a goal, learn why you didn't achieve that goal. and try to fix it. This is a lifestyle change. I am not trying to meet a certain goal, weight goal, physical goal, any of those things. I'm trying to change my lifestyle for life. It's not a temporary change, right? It's a lifestyle change, okay? So I want to be doing this until I'm no longer here. And that's what I would like you to do. Don't set goals for, well, I want to lose 30 pounds, you know. Oh, I want to lose 50 pounds. If I lose 50 pounds, man, I'll be good, right? Change your process of thinking about how you live, okay? Because that's sustainable over time. Because if you lose 30 pounds and you say, oh man, I got it, achieved that goal, and go back to doing your same eating habits or go back to not exercising, then you're going to gain that weight right back. That's why that yo-yo effect is so, prominent, right? So I really want to push this. Don't try to look at as whatever you're doing, right? We have New Year's resolutions, right? And a lot of people think about, well, I want to lose this year. I want to do this year. Okay. I'm going to talk about some goals, some things I'm going to be hypocritical about, right? But it's really for you. Okay. It's not really for me. Okay. Some of the things I'm going to talk about, if I don't achieve these things, it's not that I failed. It's just that I didn't meet whatever I'm planning on doing at that particular time. I didn't meet it that time. But at some point, I'm going to meet it. Okay? So don't get caught up in goals as like the end-all be-all. Embrace the process. Embrace how you get to the goal that you're setting. Because that's what's sustainable. If you learn to eat a certain way, okay, embrace that for life. Don't do it for a certain amount of time, and once you achieve your goal, go back to eating the Oreos. Understand why Oreos are not good for you. And if it means eliminating them, then eliminate them. If it means not eating 20 Oreos and only eating 4 Oreos, then do that. You understand what I'm saying? Do what makes sense for your lifespan. Don't do things to achieve a certain goal. All the goals that I'm going to talk about is basically for you. It's for your entertainment. Okay? In my mindset, I'm embracing the procedure. I'm embracing the habits. That's what I'm trying to change. It's a lifestyle change. That's what I'm trying to achieve. Okay? That's what I'm trying to achieve. Now, that being said, let me be a hypocrite. Let's talk about some goals that we're going to look for this year. Okay? This is some of the things that we're going to try to achieve this year. Okay? Now, I am... I think, let's see, I was born in 65. So that makes me, guys? 56. I'm not good at that. I'm horrible at that kind of stuff, right? I do not remember. I remember the day I was born, but when you ask me, if you just randomly ask me, RaiderKev, how old are you? I'm going to be like, mid-50s, because I'm not really sure. When I take the second, do the math, 56. You know what I'm saying? But I don't keep up with that kind of stuff like that. So you got to excuse me for that. So I was born in 65, so that makes me 56, right? When I started this driving career, I was weighing around the 235, 240. I was in pretty decent shape. I was probably in probably the best shape I've ever been in my life. Okay. I thought maybe I could have lost a few pounds, but in essence, I was probably in the best shape. And ultimately, I would really love to get down to that weight. I would really love it. I may never do it. As you age, your body changes. Now, is it possible for me to do it? Yes, it's possible. And if I get there, I get there. And in the back of my mind, I would love to leave this driving career. And I think I have about 10 years left in my driving career. Okay. I don't know. I might be 2 more years, might be next year, I might be done. I don't know. Right. But in my mind right now, I'm thinking I have about 10 more years left in my career. And, I would really like to exit my career the way I came in. So ultimately, my goal, and when I reach that goal, I don't know. Is that attainable? I don't know. Okay. Again, I am changing my lifestyle. Okay. I'm embracing a lifestyle change. Okay. If that leads me into getting to that weight, then so be it. I'll be extremely happy. Right. But if it doesn't, it doesn't. Okay. But this is one thing I definitely would love to do. Okay. So let's evaluate where I am today. Okay. Today. All right. So, well, let's evaluate when I started this new journey. Okay. So I told you the whole story about why or how I lost weight in the past. Right. And like I told you, I started at around 345. I think that's where it was, right? I mean, 444 with a 445. I think that's where it was, right? Like I said, I exercised like a crazy man. I changed some of my eating habits, include a lot of fruits and vegetables to my diet within smoothies. And I dropped a significant amount of weight in my mind. My doctor visit, I was at 375, right? That's a very good weight loss. I dropped, my pants got loose, right? And I was feeling very good, right? Over the time, like I told you, my lack of exercises caused my eating to be laxed, and I gained that weight back. So in August of last year, August of 2021, my wife and I estimated my weight at being 430 pounds. So that's where I started this new journey. Okay. 430 pounds. And I think it was around, it was August 26th is when I started this new journey. Okay. So at that time, it was through conversations. It was through prayer, right? I'm a very religious guy. A lot of my thoughts are driven through spirituality. So through prayer, through watching documentaries, through having conversations with people, I started realizing what my flaw was originally. Okay. My flaw of that original journey about 5 years ago, when I dropped that weight, was that I let my exercise drive my habits. Okay. Exercise was the key to everything. All right. Now I have changed that. I flipped the script. Eating is my driving force. And I had to come to grips with my eating habits and what was flawed in that. And then I'm going to add exercise as a caveat. I'm changing my eating for life. With the things I want to do, I'm going to do for my lifespan when it comes to eating. Okay. My exercises may alter, right? My eating is my driving force. And I think if you do that, if you make your eating your driving force, I think you'll have more success. Okay. So I got to thinking about food, right? Food in the way I was raised, and listen, I am not complaining about how I was raised, because I think the way I was raised was pretty much how everyone thought about food and thought about how you should eat. Okay. So my parents, grandparents, they all was like, you finish your meals, you know, 3 meals a day, snacks here and there, but you finish your food. You fix your food and you finish your food. Okay. And that was ingrained in me, right? So I was a big eater, you know. When I was young, I worked out. I was a basketball player. I played ball all the time, right? My metabolism was very high. I was young, right? So that eating didn't affect my weight because of my habits, because of my metabolism, and because of my exercising that I was doing. That's when you're young, that's the advantage. Okay? That's the advantage. So my bad eating habits didn't affect me in that way. You know, so I can eat bad and it would never show. As I got older, right, it started to affect, because I wasn't exercising, I wasn't as active. And my eating, if anything, got worse. Okay? But one of the flaws I recognized in my eating was that I was overeating. Okay? 3 meals a day when you're a kid, that nutrition is necessary because you have growing bones, growing tissue, your mind is developing. So that nutrition is needed. And I do think that model of 3 meals a day may be sufficient for a kid. I'm not a nutritionist, so I'm not going to say that that is fact. I'm just telling you how I feel, right? So as a kid, I can understand that. So I'm not trying to tell you should change the way your kids eat, right? I'm talking about as a 56-year-old man. I don't need 3 meals a day. Okay. In fact, I probably only need 1 meal a day. Okay. Food is not, it shouldn't be your focal point of your day. Okay. It shouldn't be. But for many of us, it is. Me included. Okay. For many of us, that's the focal point of our day. Our next meal. Okay. And I think that's hard to break. But I think what we can do is substitute some of that in our mind. And some of the things we need to do is try to change the way we consume food. I think that's something that I think we have to change, right? So when you think about the traditional model, right? The traditional model is breakfast, right? A lot of times breakfast involve a lot of bread, a lot of like cereals and potatoes and corn in the form of grits, eggs, you know, meats. It's usually a pretty heavy meal. You know, some people eat light for breakfast, but it's pretty, you know, high in, you know, calories, right? A lot of people think about lunch as being light, you know, a sandwich, maybe some soup, you know, things of that nature. But most times you think about lunch as being more of a light thing, and it's a gateway into your main meal, which is dinner. And dinner is usually, pow, that big meal of the day, right? your big portion of protein, your starches and potatoes or any type of sides, you're going to have, maybe some vegetables, maybe, a dessert, all those things. That's that main course. That dinner is the main course. And then what you do, you go to bed. That's not a good formula. Guys, that is not a good formula. Okay? If you're having weight issues, that's probably why. That's probably one of the keys. Again, I am not a nutritionist. Take what I'm saying, research it, and see if it makes sense. See if what I'm saying makes sense. Or seeing if the model that we were taught, right, makes sense. Do your research. But I think what I'm saying makes a lot of sense. Okay? That is not a good model. As an adult, I think a better model is to eat heavy early and wean yourself down. At night, if you can go to bed at night with a smoothie, if you can go to bed tonight with a healthy snack, something nutritional, so your body can consume that as you sleep, because when you're sleeping, your body is repairing itself. It's resting and it's repairing itself. And if you can feed that repair process with some healthy nutrition, like a healthy smoothie, I think that's a good win. I think your body would thrive on that. Okay? During the day, if you eat more calories, you're going to burn them just by your daily activity. Okay? So I think that would help you burn some of that, the intake of whatever food that you're eating. It would help burn that during your daily chores. Okay? So I had to change. When I had that realization, I had to change the way I thought about food. Okay? First, I had to eliminate the consumption of food and what I thought was correct or what I thought I needed. And that's going to be a big thing. Recognize what you need versus what you want. And then accept either the positives or the negatives about what you want. But recognize what you need. Because what you need is not, I don't think it's partially, is a fraction of what you think you need. A lot of our wants is what we feel we need. Okay? And that's the process I had to go through. So, what I did to change my way of thinking, right? And I'm not saying you should do this. I'm just explaining of what I did. And that's the whole point of this channel. I want to talk about some of the things that I've done. And whether I succeed or not, I want to talk about it because it might help you. You might be lighter than me. You might be in a better shape than I am. But maybe some of the things I talk about might help you to become healthier. It might help you to change some of your habits, right? And help you make some better lifestyle changes. Okay? As I'm talking, maybe you have some better knowledge and you can help me. You can leave some comments, send me an email, right? However we do it, right? If this comes up, which we're going to try to put this on Spreaker, go in the chat room and say, hey, RaiderKev, you ought to try this. RaiderKev, this has worked for me. Okay? Let's talk about it. Okay? Let's be engaging, right? Because that's the way we are going to change. I'm not exposing this for just simple entertainment. I'm trying to help us to grow. I'm trying to help us get better. Okay? And I'm putting myself out there, my successes and my failures on display so we can get better. Okay? Leave some comments on the YouTube side if that's the way you consume the content. Let's talk. Okay? but this is what I'm doing. This is what I did, okay? So I started, like I said, on August 26th. This is an estimation, right? My weight was 430 pounds. And what I did was I wanted to change the way I thought about food, right? So I did a fast. Originally, what I was going to do, I was going to focus on a 2-week juice fast, right? My plan was to do 3 smoothies a day, consisted of frozen fruit, fruits like blueberries, raspberries, maybe pineapples, bananas, you know, most of your fruits that blend well, taste good in smoothies. And I would alter the recipes here and there. And I would also add this product called Amazing Greens, right? When we get into some of the diet stuff in other videos, I'll show you exactly, and I'll even show you the smoothies. I'll show you how I do them, right? But I was adding the Amazing Greens because buying the, you know, especially being on the road, your vegetables start to go bad on you. You know, your fruits can last a little bit better because you can put them in on a cooler. I have a refrigerator in the truck, so I can put my fruits. I can actually cut them up. I have a little freezer section. I can freeze them. Then when I blend them, it makes it nice and cold, almost like a shake like. But it's hard to do that with vegetables, right? With your greens, right? So I found this product years ago. When I first told you 5-6 years ago when I started doing this, that was my go-to, Amazing Greens. And it has, and like I said, I'll go through that a little bit later when we talk about certain products. It gave me the green side of the smoothie. So I would add the fruits. I would, at the time, I think I was using pomegranate juice and almond milk. I'm not a big, I haven't consumed regular milk for years, multiple years, right? I want to say 4 years, maybe 3 years, 4 years, somewhere in that nature. We'll talk about that in another video also, why I don't drink regular milk. But I was using almond milk. I was using a little pomegranate juice, the berries, the fruits, okay, because my recipe would change, and the greens, which added all the greens you can think of. A lot of other antioxidants, a lot of other healthy ingredients like beets and carrots and a lot of other vegetables are all in this blend, right? And my goal was, so I was feeling I was getting the nutrition I need, right? And this is what I want. This was my whole purpose. Whether my body can function off of just these ingredients. Do I really need to have certain foods? Or can I live off of these ingredients? That was my whole purpose for doing this, right? And my goal was, I was figuring, hey, that 3 meal a day, model, right? So my goal was to go 3 smoothies, drink. I was going to start drinking, and I'll show you this right now. So I'm a big alkaline water person, right? So I was going to start drinking as much water as I consume, right? I had looked and said it basically because of my weight, I should have been drinking a gallon of water a day. That's hard. You try it. You might do it a few days. You get to about 6-7 days of that. That's going to be hard to do. So I try to drink as much water as I can, the 3 smoothies, and let's go. Let's see how this works. Let's see if I can get through this. Let's see if I can live off of this, right? And it was rough the first 2 or 3 days. It was kind of rough. I was feeling very foggy. I was, having those desires for food. But I got past it, right? After about the 3rd day, really the second day, really, to be honest with you, it was about the third day. I started realizing, especially, I think the water really did it, right? I was full. I really wasn't hungry. I was foggy, right? I didn't have the energy that I really, was looking for normal. I didn't have the normal energy, right? But I was not really hungry, right? In fact, I cut it from 3 smoothies to 2 smoothies, okay? And so I did that for about 2 or 3 more days. So now we're talking about 5 days, okay? About that 5th day, that fogginess kind of went away. The desire for food kind of disappeared, okay? Another thing disappeared. My hunger really went away. And to be honest with you, I went from the 2 smoothies to 1 smoothie a day and drinking a ton of water, okay? And I said, okay, all right. So I got about another week and a few more days. I feel I'm gonna be able to do this. All right. I felt really good. Okay. So, I'm feeling good, but my energy wasn't there. Right. So, cause at the time I said, well, after I passed that fog stage, cause I've done fasts before. Right. And I said, well, once I get past that fogginess and that, that little, it's hard to describe how it felt, right? But I felt once I got past that, I'll start to exercising, right? So, I could never get the energy to exercise, right? But I did not have a desire for food. My desire for food had really decreased. And I really felt good about this fasting. And I went from 2 to 1 smoothie. And I was drinking a ton of water. I don't know exactly if it was a gallon, but it was probably pretty close. I was drinking a ton of water, right? And I had the energy to stay up, but to just go out. And I tried a few times to go and walk, and I just didn't have the energy to do it, right? And so I didn't push myself because my goal was at that time, in my frame of mind was, I did not really want exercise to be the key factor. I wanted to accomplish achieving good eating. I wanted to change my way of thinking about food. That was the whole goal of this fast. So that was my focus. So because I wasn't able to exercise, I didn't feel like exercising. I didn't feel I had the energy to exercise, or I felt like it was going to, bump my focus off of the fast. I didn't want to do it. So I didn't do it. So I stayed focused on that fast. So I was honest with myself. After the 2 weeks was up, I'm like, man, I'm good. I'm actually good. I don't have to eat, and my mindset was like, damn, this is something, man. This is something. And when you do that, right, you always constantly thinking, man, I really don't need the food that I thought I needed. Man, I was overeating. Man, you start to realize so many things, right? And so it really did. It really helped me. And I really became, I had confidence. I'm like, so how long should I just stop right now? Or should I keep going? Because I feel pretty good. I don't need to eat, right? So at that point, I had a doctor visit that was coming up. And my doctor visit was 11 weeks away, right? Or it may have been 9 weeks, so it would have been 11 weeks from when I started, right? So I said, man, I wonder if I could make it to my doctor's visit, right? I said, man, I wonder if I can do that. So I said, you know what? That's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try my best to I'm gonna try my best to stay focused on this fast up until that doctor's visit, right? And I was doing good, man. I was so proud of myself. And guys, I think you'd have been proud of me too. And the problem with this whole story is that I don't have proof. Guys, I documented the whole thing. I documented the whole thing. And I lost it. I was going to show you. I had documentation of this. And you guys have been proud of me. And I lost the videos. I put them in a folder. And I thought that I saved them in that folder. I thought I had. And I deleted the original and deleted the folder. Right? So I don't have the documentation, right? But guys, you can take my word for it. I did it. I changed the way I thought. So it was about it was a few days before we was heading home for that trip to the doctor. I think my doctor's visit was on a Monday, and this was on a Sunday. Okay, so it was about a week. So let's say, so I had to be like 10 weeks in of my fast. Okay, and my wife, she didn't do a fast, but what we had started and what my process was, this was going to be my process. I was going to, my goal was to eliminate the thought of food. Solid foods, I was going to prove to myself solid foods wasn't important. Okay. Then I was going to start not a strict vegan, but a vegan type of a diet. Okay. I was going to do that, and I was going to use, like I said, weight is not my focus. It's for your entertainment. But I was going to use it as like a guideline of when I was going to change and introduce certain things, right? So I said I was going to fast until I go to the doctor. Then I was going to start a vegan lifestyle. Not a strict vegan lifestyle, because I know sometimes there was going to be some animal products in certain, ingredients in certain things I was going to eat. So I wasn't going to pick up everything I was going to consume, make sure, but just simply not eating meats. Not, I had stopped drinking milk for a while now. Cut out eggs, things of that nature. If I know something for a fact was in something, like my wife would cook something, she would use vegan ingredients to cook it, right? While I was doing this, that's what she was doing, because she wasn't interested in a juice fast, but she wanted to start living a more vegan type lifestyle, right? So she was coming out with vegan dishes, right? And I never tasted, but I was like, oh man, I look forward to trying that. That looks good, right? So I'm gonna tell you what stopped my fast. And this is gonna be so odd to you. This is gonna be really odd, right? She cooked a vegan burger, but a meatless vegan burger. And when I say meatless, I don't mean a meatless alternative. I mean a true meatless sandwich. Okay, lettuce, tomatoes, vegan mayonnaise, right? Not necessarily vegan bread, because I know some breads have, but it was, bread, right? Whole grain wheat bread, and seasoning. That's it. That's it, right? And she had tried it a few times, and she was like, man, this is good. I looked at that. I said, I don't know about that one, right? But she kept saying how good it was, right? And so that Sunday, she fixed one, and she said, Kevin, do you really? She said, I really want you to try this. I said, well, baby, I'm really not interested. I want to complete this goal. When I go to the doctor, I'll try after the doctor. But I have to admit, and then what she does was, I mean, my wife she loves to cook. She loves food in a certain way, right? So she had got some vegan mayo and some vegan butter, okay? So she toasted her bread, right? Put her butter on it, right? Made like not a sourdough, but you know, that toasted type bread, right? With her butter. And you know, you smell it in this truck, you smell it, right? And then she had her mayo, and she put seasoning in it. I could smell that, right? She sliced her tomatoes and her lettuce. You know, she had lettuce. She didn't do spinach. She had lettuce. And it smelled good. It really, really smelled good, right? And she said, baby, you sure you don't want a bite? She said, you're doing good. This is not like this is a cheat, right? But in my mind, I'm like, I really want to accomplish that, you know. I'm like, man, trick it, man. Let's go for it, right? So that's what broke my fast, right? I broke my fast with a lettuce tomato sandwich. And it was fantastic. It was great. Guys, don't shortchange that. You might think about that and say, man, it does not sound very exciting. I promise you, that is a good sandwich. And especially, so now, I don't really want to get into a lot of products, but this product right here, right? I saw this on Facebook, right? It's a seasoning, and it's a vegan. It's vegan approved, right? There's no animal products in this, right? But it's bacon seasoning. So whatever you put on it, it tastes like bacon. So what I started doing was adding this seasoning to that sandwich, and in essence having me a BLT tasting sandwich. Guys, that is a good sandwich. You might not think so, right? You might not think so. But I promise you, for me, I say it like this. For me, that is a great sandwich, right? So that's how, and that wasn't how I started. I broke my fast with just a regular lettuce and tomato mayo sandwich, right? And that's how I broke it. And but I did really good. I did real good. So when I went to the doctor, again, he didn't notice a weight loss. Well, he did, because that was a while ago, and I had gained that weight. And so he saw the weight loss. I think that visit, when I went to him, that visit, I went from what we estimated about 430 when I started. I think I was down to 380, somewhere in that area, right? And that was strictly from my diet. No, it wasn't 380. No, it was heavy. I was heavy. I was just under 4. It was like 490 something. I mean, 390 something. It was in the 390s. I remember now. It was in the 390 something. And so in his mind, I had lost a significant amount of weight. I had lost 30 or 40 pounds in his mind, right? And he was like, oh man, I don't know what you're doing, man. You need to continue, you know. And he said, just stay on this path, right? I said, okay, no problem, right? So I had talked to him, because also what I wanted to do was, one of my goals is to get off of the high blood pressure medication, right? So I talked to him about that, and he's not big on that. You know, he feels like once you get on it, you on it, right? But he's willing to talk about it. So I said, okay, I accept that. But in my mind, I'm like, I'll take myself off it if you won't, right? So I had I was really focused. So after that visit, he said, I want to see you in 6 months, okay? And after that, we might go a year. okay? That was a positive, man, because now he's seeing that I'm dropping this weight. He doesn't have to see me every 6 months. Good to go. That's an extreme positive, right? So I started eating a vegan diet. And what I did was, this is what I tried to do. I tried to eat my meals early. Breakfast, lunch, and light dinner, right? That's what I tried, but it's hard. It's when you have, 40, 45 years, or 50 years of doing something, it's hard to change, right? And I reverted back into eating well, eating a vegan lifestyle, but I was still consuming my biggest meal at the end of the day. But I was still losing weight because what I started doing was I started getting back on my exercising, right? I started building that back up. So in 1 month, and I had this all, man, guys, I had it all. I had some videos for you guys. I lost them. So the 1 month I worked out, I was just getting back into it, right? So I didn't push myself too hard. Because you remember back, I told you the opening weekend when the Saints played the Raiders in New Orleans, that weekend, I finished a goal of 130 miles in a month, right? I wasn't going to ask that of myself because I'm just starting back, right? So I set a goal of what I set this time, 80 miles, right? And it was a good time of the year, and I achieved it. I nailed it. I killed it, right? So the next month, I'm eating well. My diet, is pretty decent. I'm basically eating 2 meals a day. One of them is a smoothie. Another one is solid foods, right? And I'm eating like a salad. I was doing this Subway wrap with just vegetables. Okay, I was doing that. That was pretty good. Although it's now I've gotten tired of it. I don't really do that anymore. But that was, at the time, that's what I was doing. Also, so I was cutting out a lot. I was still eating some breads, but not a lot. I would say like bread like 3 or 4 times a week in a sandwich, right? But basically, like beans, my wife would cook beans. I would eat it with no rice. Of course, like she would use, in her beans, she would put butter normally. But now she was using a vegan butter, right? So she was using vegan butter, no meats in the beans, okay? I had pictures of the dishes and everything, guys. I had a great video for you guys. All I can do is explain it now. So I was including a lot of beans. I was eating salads from time to time, from every now and then. The beans, occasionally eating a sandwich, right? The lettuce and tomato sandwich. And like I said, I was adding the bacon seasoning, which, like I said, this is vegan. There's no meat products in it at all. I don't know if you can see it right here. So on Spreaker, guys, you can't see it. I'm trying to show Facebook. It's hard to see. I don't know if it's focusing enough, but it says right here. It says right here that it's no MSG, vegan, gluten-free. Okay, so this is there's no meat products. It's a bacon taste, bacon seasoning, right? So I was in essence eating a BLT, right, without the meat, right? So I was doing that occasionally, doing my smoothies, eating a lot of fruit, drinking a lot of water. And I was doing it. I had got my weight down right before I got sick. I got my weight down to I was in the 350 range, 360. I think I had just dipped under 360 before I got sick. And so I was nailing it, man. I was doing my exercise. I did a challenge of 100. I bumped it up to 100, right? 100 that month.
I accomplished that goal. It was hard. If you was following me on Facebook, you can remember that. I gave up because some of it was me. A few times I got lazy, right? But some of it was just the weather, you know? And, so I gave up, man. I wasn't going to achieve it. And, I did the math, and all I had to do, I think, was like 3.6 or 3.7 average that every day, for the next week. And I could have achieved that goal. I said, man, I can do that. I can do that, you know? So I did it. I nailed it, man. I got my 100 miles in, right? So, man, I was feeling so good. So, I went to the doctor, and, no, I didn't go to the doctor. No, I'm missing that. I didn't go to the doctor. What happened was I got sick, okay? And I had to go in the hospital. I was hospitalized for about a week, okay? And, when I went in, and I got sick, my wife and I didn't go right to the hospital when we both got sick, okay? We didn't go straight to the hospital. We tried to tough it out, and we was on the road, so we didn't want to go in a foreign place. So we tried to tough it out till we get back home, and we didn't make it. We was in Texas, but we didn't make it back to Arlington. So we went into the hospital, and when I was sick, before I got to the hospital, I wasn't eating much at all. I wasn't exercising. I had pneumonia, right? You can put the pieces together, right? So I couldn't exercise. I wasn't eating hardly anything. I was just a fruit every now and then. And so when I got in the hospital, I think I went in the hospital, when they weighed me, I was weighing around I was in the 340s, low 340s, right? And when I checked out, because I wasn't eating much at all in the hospital, right? I wasn't doing bad, but I wasn't eating that well. And I dropped a lot of weight in 1 week. I dropped a lot of weight in 1 week. I think when I got in the hospital, I was weighing around the 340, maybe 330 something, but I would say 340. The day I checked out, and I stayed in the hospital for 8 days. When I checked out the last morning, I weighed myself and I asked the nurse, and I don't know if this was accurate. I think it probably was, right? But she said my weight was 325. 325. And you might say that was a good thing. It wasn't, because I didn't do it the right way, right? Now, maybe in retrospect, maybe I could have done something different in that time frame, in that time period. But I wasn't healthy, right? And I didn't feel good about how I felt, how I looked. I didn't feel good about it at all. I was still having some health issues, but I wasn't in the hospital, right? So what I did was I started getting my appetite back. My wife wasn't here to cook for me. She spoiled me, man. My wife spoiled me. And I wasn't comfortable in cooking for myself. Because, look, if I was at home, it would have been different. In this truck, you're limited, right? So she was some meals my wife had made in this truck would blow your mind, right? Her passion is cooking. And she's going to figure out how to cook wherever she's at. And she was doing wonders with the damn rice pot, right? But so I found that some soups I can cook in the rice pot. They already prepared, right? I might add a little Tony's or a little seasoning to it to make it taste a little different. But, you know, in essence, I'm just warming up soup, right? So I did that. I started eating bread, a lot more bread than I should have. Started eating the soups. Went to my I was still doing my smoothies. And I was starting to feel better, but I don't know, man. I wasn't right. I wasn't right at all. And you know, I gained a little weight. I think I went back up to about, I was in like the 330 mark, right? And hold on, guys. Okay, sorry about that. So I was just trying to get healthy at the time. You know, I really wasn't feeling well. I started getting my eating back. I wasn't able to exercise at all, and I started gaining a little weight. And I thought that was a good thing. You know, losing weight is a good thing, but when you lose it and it's not lost in the right way, you don't feel good about it. At least I didn't feel good about it, right? I wasn't strong, right? So I couldn't exercise, and so I didn't mind, you know, and I didn't worry about the weight, right? But my wife was concerned. She was wondering, you know, so that's the only reason why I know these numbers, right? So about 2 weeks after being released, I was in like the about the 330, mid 330s, somewhere in that area. And then I went back. My wife never came back on the truck with me, right? I went back on my own, and my eating really I didn't do well. I started eating, I came off of that vegan type diet. I started even started adding some burgers. I was adding some fried foods that I shouldn't have. And you know, I wasn't horrible. It certainly wasn't horrible, right? I wasn't eating cakes and candies and things of that nature. I was eating pretty much what people would consider a regular diet, but it wasn't a diet that I want to be on for the span of my life. Okay, for my lifespan, right? That's what I was disappointed about. I wasn't doing crazy stuff, right? But I certainly wasn't doing what I normally would do or what I want to do for the rest of my life. Okay, so over time, I would say it started about maybe, let's say I went to the doctor on I think it was the 27th. Okay, so I would say about a week before I went to the doctor, I started thinking about it. I said, man, I don't want to do this. This is not the way I want my life to go, right? I'm getting sidetracked, right? These fried foods, they got to go. All these, you know, these burgers, which I wouldn't eat a lot of burgers. I might have had 2 burgers in a month, right? They got to go, okay? This fried chicken, not, you know, I'm a big tenders guy, right? I don't really, not into regular chicken like that. I'll eat it. I'm not saying I'm opposed to it, but I'm more of a tender guy, right? So, that gotta go, okay? Fried foods, basically fried foods gotta go, burgers gotta go. I've stopped eating pork a long time ago. Occasionally I'll have something. I'm not saying I'm just totally against pork, but it's not a big part of my diet, you know, but that has to go. And basically, like, I will still eat shrimp, fish. I love salmon. Oh, my wife's grilled salmon is, oh man, it's to die for. That's just a term. Don't take that literally. But she does a great job with her grilled salmon, right? So I'll still eat that. So kind of like a pescatarian type diet, right? That's what I'm comfortable with right now. So that's what I started doing, right? And I said, okay, let me get focused on getting back on track. I'm feeling well, right? Feeling pretty normal. Let me get to start exercising. I started exercising a little bit. And I didn't really weigh myself because I really didn't want to. I knew I gained weight and I didn't want to see what it was, because you know, that weight is, it could be a good thing and a bad thing, right? I think I've accomplished not allowing it to deter my my train of thought, or my focus, right? I don't allow it to affect me in that way, right? But we all are human. Anytime that you take a step back, it's going to affect you. It's just whether or not you're strong enough not to allow it to be a devastating effect. You're human. It's going to affect you, right? We can have goals of what we want to achieve. You're not going to always meet those goals, okay? So I have a goal of not allowing my weight to affect my train of thought. But I'm human. It's going to affect it. Okay? Let's be real about it. So that's why I wanted to stay away from a scale, right? Because I didn't want to see what it was, because I didn't want to be disappointed, right? So I said, what I'll do is I'm going to a doctor on the 27th. Let's just see what happens. Let's see where I'm at, and I'll start from there, right? We're going to start a new journey from that point. But going into the doctor's visit, let's change this diet. Let's go back to what we were doing before I got sick, okay? And that's basically like a pescatarian type diet, right? So I started doing that. I was feeling pretty good, feeling real good, okay? Started working out a little bit, okay? Excuse me. Feeling real good. So I went to the doctor, and this is how we're going to start this journey. This is the number, because at the end of this video, we're going to talk about what we want to achieve, or the goal we want to achieve for this year. That's what we're going to get to that. I'm going to entertain you. Like I told you, this is not for me. I'm embracing the process. These goals are basically for you. Okay, they're for you to judge, right? So, my last visit to the doctor on the 27th of December, my weight was 353 pounds. 353 pounds. So that's where we're starting. Okay? That's where we're going to start this journey. Okay? What we're going to do, we're going to basically a pescatarian diet. What we're going to do is drink our alkaline water as much as we can drink. This is a liter. I would like to drink about 3 of these a day. All right? I would like to do that. Okay? We're going to have a smoothie, and I'll go through a recipe of my smoothies in another video. We're going to do that either in the morning. Some mornings we're going to do, I found a cereal, right? I'm not going to, well, we'll go through that later on. But what the cereal is, it's low carbs, no sugars, high in protein. Tastes pretty good. I got 4 flavors. I've tried 3 of them. They taste pretty good. Especially you add a little fruit to them, it tastes excellent. Now, one of them that's a frosty, you don't need, it's like a frost type, you know, it's not sugarless, still zero sugar. So, but the ingredients, and we'll talk about this also. One of the things I do, one of my practices is ingredients. I want no numbers. Okay, so no red 45. Okay, no numbers. And I want to be able to pronounce the ingredients. Okay, sorry guys. I want to be able to pronounce the ingredients. Okay, and as least amount of ingredients as possible. that's kind of what I like to do. Okay. So, that's what we're doing as far as food. A smoothie or cereal for breakfast. Okay. Soup or a sandwich, my tomato sandwich. I actually do it at Subway now. Now, just to give you an idea, I was doing it at Subway and just doing the key for me, add a lot of tomatoes, right? I don't do no cheese. I do the wheat bread. I do spinach. And I ask them to put 3 times the amount of tomatoes they normally put on a sandwich. My cheat in that sandwich is I like the chipotle sauce. So I have the chipotle sauce. So that's why, look, I'm not a vegan. Okay. I'm not even, there are some things that I'm going to consume that are not going to be, ideal for weight loss. This is a lot. I want to be able to do this for my lifespan. Okay. That's what this journey is about. Right. If there's some things I'm going to say I'm going to do, because like, if you really want to lose weight, you might not want to consume bread. Okay. But this is the questions that I ask. When I eat something, am I going to eat this? Am I going to eliminate this for the rest of my life? Or do I just need to monitor it or eat it in portions? That's my train of thought when I do things. So I'll eat bread, but it has to have a nutritional value, right? And it has to be in moderation. Okay. So like with my soups, I found these chips, these corn chips, but they have some nutritional value to it. Okay. You can see it's kind of backwards, right? But you can make it out, I guess. I guess you can make it out. You can figure it out. It has a nutritional value to it. It's, these are, organic, gluten-free, no GMOs, whole grain, right? Flaxseed, chia, you saw what it was. It has a nutritional value, but I'm not going to sit there and eat half a bag. I'm going to eat a few chips with my soups. Okay. So that's going to be in the middle of the day. At the end of the day, I'm going to either eat some fruit, maybe some almonds, right? Or I might, I'm not going to eat the cereal, but I might make a smoothie. That's what I do for dinner time. So I still have, in a lot of ways, that 3-meal, concept, but I'm trying to do my biggest meals early. At the end of the day, I'm trying to eat light. And I'm trying to consume something. I think about what I want my body to absorb while I'm sleeping. So that's why I like to do my smoothies at night, because that's going to be the highest in nutrition. So it's going to help with recovery. It's going to help with rest. It's going to help, my body to consume those things. That's how I see it. And if you see it a different way, if you are a nutritionist, if you have some more, or even if you just have your opinions, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. But that's what I'm doing. Okay. So goals for this year, right? Now, this is for you. Now, I have to, let me rephrase that. This is also for me. I am looking forward to this also. Okay. This is something I actually do want to achieve, right? I told you what my ultimate goal is. Ultimately, when I leave this job, when I leave this career, I would love to leave it the same size I came in. And that would be around 235, 240. I would love that. That may or may not happen. Because your body, as you get older, your body is only going to lose a certain amount of weight, And as we go down this journey, I may change my focus, and I may really, really get focused on doing that and do some things that are really going to get me to that goal, right? But that's something that I would like to do, but it's not a focus. It's just it's something I would like to happen. Okay. What I really, really want to happen, what I truly, truly want to happen. Okay. And this is something I you know, if there's something I'll be disappointed about, I would probably really be disappointed about this if this doesn't happen. Next year, I have a doctor's visit. I'm not sure exactly. The date doesn't matter. It should be around that 27th. In fact, I don't want to waste your time because I want to end this video. Next year, when I go to the doctor, my next real doctor's visit, I want to be firmly and never ever imagining going back into 300 pounds. I want to be out of 300 firmly. I'm not going to put a number out there, right? But I want to be firmly established that I am not in the 300-pound category anymore. I would love that. And right now, I don't know where I'm at right now, but my last doctor's visit, and that's what we're going to do. My next doctor visit at the end of 2022, I want to be firmly, I'm starting at 353. I want to be out of 300, firmly out of 300, and never ever going back. That's my goal. Okay? And I want to take you with it. Take you with me. Take you with it. Another thing, these videos are not editing. You're going to get what I call bonus content. This is as close to live as you're going to get. Okay? And all my other videos is the same thing. I do very minimum editing. Okay? I make a mistake. Bonus content, baby. Okay? So you get it how you get it. Okay? So that's my goal, guys. And I want to take you on my journey. And my other goal, my ultimate goal is you. I want someone, if it's one person or if it's 1,000 people, but I want someone to change their life. I want someone to become healthy. I want someone to be motivated by what I do to change their life and to become healthier. Because if I can do that, then I'm answering my calling. I think that's what God wants from us. He wants us to be motivating. He wants us to show the examples. He wants us to drive other people to be better. That's what I feel my calling is. That's why I'm doing this. That's why I'm exposing this. I don't care about making money off of these videos. But what I do care about, I care about you. I want to entertain you. I want us to grow as people. And I want someone, if it's one or if it's thousands, it does not matter to me. But if it's one person that I can reach and they change their life, then all of it is worth it. All of it is worth it. So I'm going to end this video. Subscribe to the channel. Hit on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell. That way, it'll pop up whenever I post a video. Right? Look at the title. If you're interested in that conversation, some of it is going to be sports. I'm very honest with my titles. Some of it's going to be sports. Some of it's going to be gun content. And some of it's going to be lifestyle change. Okay? Check the title out. If that's what you're interested in, hit it. And check me out. I would love for you to hit all of them. I would love for you to watch all of them because I think I can help you in all these aspects. I'm passionate about all these things, right? And hopefully there's some other things I'm going to add to the channel down the road. But one thing I'm going to be honest with is my titles. That way, if you're not interested in certain things, I won't bore you. I won't waste your time. Because the last thing I want to do is waste your time. Okay? Now, you can expect these lifestyle videos to be a little long. They're going to probably be a little over an hour. And I don't think I'm going to have a lot of interviews, but I'm hoping to get a few interviews, talk to some people, right? And I'm looking for, I'm not going to update you when it's unnecessary. I'm thinking at least twice a month, 3 times a month. If there's something that comes up that I want to talk about, I'll bring it up. I'll post it. That's why it's important to turn on the notifications. Okay. That way you see when I post something, and then you can come check it out. Okay. So guys, I end my videos like this all the time, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart. Guys, love each other. Take care of each other. And guys, be blessed. RaiderKev is out. Peace.